Bridgewater keeps. Dancing in the backfield. Okuebanam's got it. Stays on his feet. Lunge for the pylon. Touchdown!
Hi, I'm Teddy Bridgewater of the Denver Broncos and Miami native, and I have succeeded with Principal Aristide. I need you to succeed with Principal Aristide.
Bo, Wallace, Aristide. 60 with Aristide, North Miami tap in. Tap to tap to tap tap in. 60 with Aristide, District 2 tap in. Tap to tap to tap tap in. 60 with Aristide, North Miami tap in. Tap to tap to tap tap in. Aristide a winner, District 2 commissioner. Natural born leader, number one, nobody similar. North Miami bound, tap in, I'm saying listen up. Aristide the best, 30 years and never giving up. Dade County bound, we yelling Aristide. Dedication, motivation, make the city healthy. Vote Aristide, he the GOAT, legendary. August 22, Aristide, no comparing. District 2, 22, you better tap in. Aristide coming through with a different plan. Love the kids, love the people talking Superman. Aristide going up, talking champion. North Miami, Opa-locka, better tap in. Little River, Ponciana, better tap in. Westview, Pinewood, I said tap in. Hialeah, Longmont, gotta tap in. 60 with Aristide, North Miami, tap in. Tap to tap to tap tap in. 60 with Aristide, District 2 tap in. Tap to tap to tap tap in. 60 with Aristide, North Miami tap in. Tap to tap to tap tap in. Bo, Wallace, Aristide. Bo, Wallace, Aristide. Bo, Wallace, Aristide.
Welcome to another episode of Wednesdays with Wallace. Again, I've got to remind everybody, this was the brainchild of Eldrine Jackson. I mean, she put it together. You also had Gabrielle Charles, who helped us with the production. And we've got a tremendous production team, the Lewises. I can't thank them enough. When we come in and then you get the promos and you see the videos, this is so we can connect, allow everybody in District 2 to know who we are. As we go all around, and we've been all around District 2. We've been in some areas. We've been in contact. We've met so many people over the last couple of months. So this particular show, Wednesdays with Wallace, always starts with the ladies. During the month of March, when we were recognizing Women's History Month, the month of March is when we started this show. And I mean, you had some giants there that night, and we hope to have them again. I'm looking for a special show, March of 2022, to recognize all the ladies. They are meaningful. They have an impact. I believe quite a number of people had a tremendous Thanksgiving holiday. We had a chance to celebrate with so many people in District 2. I mean, with turkeys, you name it. We're very fortunate working with Linda Cortier Aristide to help people through the Wallace Aristide Family Foundation. It was good stuff. We not only help people here in Dade County. We had a gentleman take 14 turkeys to Haiti. We thought that was fantastic. And when those people got the turkeys, it meant so much to them. It meant the world to them. So we continue to work for Miami-Dade County. We continue to work for District 2. We're excited. But folks, if you listen to me, you're coming in, we need your help. I've got Margarita, who is doing an outreach campaign, trying to reach people. We need your help financially. We're going to need your help. So if you go to www.wallacearistide.com, go in there and help us out. Donate. Donate a $5, donate a $10, donate a $15, donate a $20, 50 or less. We welcome it. Let's go ahead and donate. We're a grassroots campaign. We want to meet everybody in the area, everybody in Dade County. When we started this campaign, we wanted a Miami-Dade County that works for everybody. Miami-Dade has got to be a place, no matter who you are, where you live, that you're able to thrive and be able to be successful. Miami-Dade has got to be a place where you're safe. Miami-Dade has got to be a place. I talked to somebody today, and they're concerned about small businesses. They're taking a big hit during this pandemic. We've got to be there to corral and support our small businesses. I talked to some, it's interesting. I'm talking to all kinds of people. I talked to somebody today, and she needed some assistance with housing. We will be reaching out. I did make some calls today for her and her family. We'll be reaching out to be able to assist them with housing. They're going to be in a very difficult situation. So if you know someone or you can help or you can be a part of the solution, let's come together and let's do this together. Let's do this for Miami-Dade County. Let's do it for District 2. If you are somebody who used to live in Miami-Dade County, maybe you like our friends in Atlanta or wherever you may be, you can be a part of this campaign. This campaign is for all the residents that live here or used to live here or people that want to make a difference in Miami-Dade. We think we have a great county. We think we have a great place. And our goal is to go in there and make sure we have a commissioner in Miami-Dade County that's a servant leader. Somebody that has leadership, somebody understands about serving, somebody with credibility. This is what it's all about. So reach out to us, www.wallacearistide.com. Donate. Please, whatever it is, no matter what the amounts are, we need your support. We also need volunteers. That's big. If you give us your time, I mean, we appreciate your treasure, but we greatly appreciate your time and your talent. If you can go out here and volunteer, we've got Wilna Guillaume, who's working with our volunteer service with the campaign. Please volunteer. Volunteer, come and help us. Let's make that connection. Let's reach out to everybody in Dade County. So you go to www.wallacearistide.com and volunteer. Volunteer with us. Help us out. We're getting ready to bring our guests, but I wanted to open up with that. We've got to see a Miami-Dade County that's improved, that's better, a place where all of us can do well. This is what this campaign is about. So if you listening, you hearing it, this is your campaign. This is not the candidate. This is our campaign that we do collectively. We're doing this as a team. Come on, be a part of the team. This is your team. Come on and let's do this. Tonight, tonight I'm excited. We have some amazing guests that are coming up. The guests are going to come on shortly. I'm looking forward to our guests, people that can tell you who this guy is. Who's this guy? Who's this Wallace Aristide? What he's all about. What are some of the things that he accomplished? What are those successes that he's made? One of the big things for me, and I had a great dialogue again with somebody today, and we talked about some of the things that happen with a lot of our young people. The violence. We've got to be there to support them. We've got to go out there, and there's got to be an outreach. This campaign is to outreach those young folks. Let's help them find an opportunity, something that can allow them to believe in themselves, something that can allow them to see there's a better path forward. There's got to be a better future. So when you talk about the Aristide Family Foundation, that's a major component of the foundation. That particular foundation, as far as I know, they want to outreach, help people, help them develop, look at their skills, look at their talent sets, so they can be those folks in the future that can be future leaders, those people that we can be so proud of, because there's so much that our young people have to offer. Look at what they know when it comes to technology. They're born in technology. We've got to go ahead and get them to see, hey, how do you connect? How do you find a skill? How do you find a trade? How do you have talent somewhere that you can come and everybody in the community can see you as a citizen that has allowed Miami-Dade County to be successful because of your effort? Young folks, we need you, and we got to protect our seniors. We've got to make sure a big part of this campaign is that senior outreach, letting the seniors know where they're, helping them to complete application, helping them to do documentation, helping them not to lose their homes. All of this is a big part of what we'd like to see happen here in Miami-Dade County. It's got to be about protecting the most vulnerable. Sometimes it's our young people. Sometimes it's our seniors. And all of us that need to make sure that we are succeeding in Miami-Dade. So you know the slogan. You know what we say. Let's succeed with Aristide. Let's succeed together. Welcome to another Wednesdays with Wallace. We'll be right back with our first guest. We're going to go to commercial, and we'll be right back momentarily with our first guest. Thank you for watching us on YouTube, Facebook Live, Succeed with Aristide. Hey, Wednesdays with Wallace. Let's do it, Mr. Production Team. Let's go, Mr. and Mrs. Producers. We're committed to the success of this campaign, Miami-Dade County Commissioner, District 2. So we look forward. I want to thank everybody we talked about last night. I just want to thank you. Let's continue to work. We got a lot of work to do. We got a year and a half out. Let's continue to encourage people. Let's continue to find voters. We're going to be canvassing the community, making those connections, trying to see what we can do. How do we help? Things that we can create to make this a Miami-Dade that works for everybody. Wow. But before we get to, listen, I'm excited about this, guest, and you're going to know in a moment why I'm excited. Folks, just a reminder, we're about 9 months away. The big date is August 23rd, 2022. That is the date. That is the date we got to focus on. But I've got an amazing young lady that's coming up, Miss Tamara Aristide. Tamara Aristide, I cannot, look at her waving. Look at her, isn't she charming? She's an Aristide. Look, she's just so gorgeous. Yeah. Look here, Tamara. She's got a shirt on, representing those people on 71st Street.
Definitely.
You said that. So, Tamara, we're going to go into this. I'm looking forward to this dialogue. I know you. Listen, this young lady, all she does, and there's a song, and maybe you know this song better than I do. All she does is work. This young lady, maybe that's just the Aristide way of doing things.
I think so.
She's always working, and she's busy. This is my niece, Tamara Aristide, and I'm going to go into a little bit about her, but let me let you start, Tamara. Can you tell our people that's watching us on Facebook, YouTube, tell them a little bit, if they want to know who Tamara Aristide is, what would you say?
Yeah.
Who's that person?
First of all, I want to say good afternoon to you all who are watching. My name, of course, like you said already, is Tamara Aristide. I'm 22 years old. I am a bull. I graduated class of 2018 under the direction of Mr. Wallace Aristide. So that was definitely a plus. I'm currently enrolled in Miami-Dade's nursing program, and semester 1 is almost done. I'm super excited for that. I'm currently also an LPN, so I am working in a nursing home. I work at Villa Maria. It's been about a year, and everything's been, pretty great. I've been doing what I've been called to do. So, that's just a little bit about me.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I want to talk about this. And you come to a school where your uncle is the principal. I can imagine. It may sound easy, but it's not easy.
No.
Because the demands are high, the expectation is high, and people are looking for you to come in there and not be successful.
Definitely.
Because hey, that's your uncle, and they're looking not to be a support. Because you run into some folks that may not be as supportive as they should be, and they should be supportive, but sometimes you run into that. I remember when you first came in, you came in with your friend, and then you said you wanted to come to the school. Talk to me. What was going through your mind when you first came in there and spoke to me about you and your colleague, and y'all came there together?
Okay, so if I told you that I wasn't scared, I'd be lying. I was super nervous. I was so nervous because, growing up, I already knew what the expectations were. My uncle is excellence, 100%, nothing belittle, nothing little. So I was nervous, but I knew I wanted to go somewhere where I was going to be under, good supervision. And Northwestern has so much to offer, especially with the medical magnet. That was something that really intrigued me and made me really want to go to the West. So it was those two things: being under great supervision, excellence. That's something that you really engraved in us, in me specifically. And then the medical magnet was booming. So, I had to, I had to come.
Talk to me a little bit about your colleague. Y'all went in there. I guess y'all encourage each other. Talk to me about that relationship, because I think it's big. When last month we met with the pastors, and we always talk about the big three. The big three is family, church, and school. Mm-hmm. But now in the society we live in now, it seems to be a different big three. It seemed to be social media.
Yeah.
It seemed to be gaming and electronics, and the other one seemed to be negative peer pressure. So how do you and your colleagues sort of talk to me about that relationship? Because I thought that was helpful. How did that work out?
So me and that colleague, we graduated from middle school together. We were really, really close. You would think we're, two peas in a pod. So we definitely want to go to the same high school. I knew that we weren't gonna be able to be friends for much longer because we had two separate interests. My interest was more school driven, and that specific person was kind of, it was not as much as not really close to mine. But I always tried, and thought that eventually maybe later on it would, as she's in school, it'd get better. Um, so honestly, I can say that it only got kind of worse because in high school, like you said, peer pressure, it's a lot.
Yeah.
You see things, you're around different things. It's a whole different environment. And mind you, we were from North Miami, so going to 71st, that was a whole different. That was a change for us. So I feel like she kind of allowed the peer pressure to get to her, and as much as I would try, talk to her, but it's like it's only so much I could do.
No,
At the moment, and we were ninth grade. I think I was like 14 at the time.
Yes.
So my parents were involved, so they, you can't really hang out with somebody who's like that. And I'm like, but can we at least try to give her a chance? But like I said, Uncle, it's only so much you could do. I can't make you drink the water. I could take you there, but I can't make you drink the water. And it's unfortunate that we weren't able to last and be friends as much as we thought we were. But I know that I think she's in school now. She's doing better, but just at the time, it just wasn't good. It wasn't going to work out.
No, that's good. Let me say this to you. And when I grew up, there were some people I like. I would consider them friends, but sometimes you got to choose a path that is a road that's going to direct you to the future that you want for yourself.
Yeah.
I always encourage people, if you're going to be around people, try to be around positive people. You want to be around people that like-minded, folks that want to see you succeed, and they want to succeed also.
Yeah.
I always encourage young people to do that. You want to be careful. Sometimes I always encourage them to be a little independent. And I think that's big. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the family. You had a challenge in your life. And we're going to go into it, and I'm hoping that you can sort of talk about it a little bit, because some people may be listening. They might need some help. They might have went through something similar. So you lost your mom, right? Mm-hmm. So talk about that, because, your dad is in your life. Phenomenal. I'm a big fan of his. I don't see him much. He must be like you. All he do is work also. But I don't see him much. So, and your brother, Junior, love him dearly. A great young man. So talk about that a little bit for me.
Yeah, definitely. So growing up without a mother was really, really hard. Not only just, being without a mother, but it caused so much confusion in my life growing up. When I mean confusion, I'm talking about like identity. I didn't really know who I was because I didn't have that mother figure to like look up to. When you have, like, for example, you're a boy and you have a father, you look up to your father, you follow those footsteps. However, I didn't grow up with my mother, so we were everywhere. I was at this auntie's house, this uncle's house, this friend's house. I was just everywhere. So I really didn't have anybody to really stand on, to really look up to. And as I grew up, that became so much of a challenge for me. Like, figuring out who I was. And, it's that journey alone, just finding who you are, is forever. It takes forever. But I feel like if I really had that mother figure in my life, I possibly would have helped me in a way. We struggled in every aspect, I could say, financially, moving. I was constantly moving schools, constantly making new friends, sleeping at family's house, friends' house, people that you barely even know, just so my father can make, ends meet. Luckily for me, I'm still here and I'm good, but there's other people, it could have possibly went left, like, some other people I could possibly happen to. But I think the biggest thing for me, Uncle, if I had to tell you, was just being without a mom made me really confused in a way. Like, I didn't really know who I was, and I'm still figuring that out as I go. Who am I? What do I like? It even comes to like the clothes that I wear. Like, sometimes I feel like I don't know what to wear. How do I talk? How do I approach? How do I be feminine? How do I be a woman in that type of way? So I really, really, really struggled with that. And sometimes, going back to peer pressure, when you don't have somebody who you can really look up to, you look up to others around you. And that may not always be a positive thing to do. So thank God, luckily for me, I had you.
Can I say this to you? The role model is big. I've always wanted to, when I work with young people, I always wanted to be a role model. I always want to be an example. I remember there was a guy, and I don't like to mention people's names when they're not here. I'll say the name Rodney because there's a bunch of Rodney. There's a guy called Rodney. He doesn't live here. He lives in Georgia somewhere. And I remember talking to a student one day, and I talked to that student about what impacted him, what allowed him to be successful. And the young man mentioned Rodney, and what he said about Rodney was he always saw Rodney with a suit and tie. He always saw him dressed nice, and he wanted to do the same thing. I remember being a young person. I had a guy, a professor, Dr. John Jennings. The guy always had the nicest outfits, and you wanted to emulate that. One of the things that is concerning to me, and especially with the young ladies, they can be challenged sometimes. And just to have that, and I'm glad you're saying and you're opening up. You don't know how much I appreciate you saying that because you're a testimony, and other people need to hear what you have to say.
Definitely.
Because sometimes the young ladies, if you only knew how hard I worked to get women and people in front of them to come and talk to them, because I could tell that there was something I didn't know nothing about. There was something called airdrop. When this thing hit me like a brick, I'm like, what is this? It created so many problems.
Yeah.
Especially for the young girls,
Yeah.
the young women. And I've always tried to get them with somebody. And you got some fans. My wife Linda's crazy about you. My sister Blaniva's crazy about you. Allison, oh my God. So you have some women that are part of the family. And when it comes to you, I mean, you have an admiration society, and they see you thriving and being successful, and they're so proud of you. And I'm not going to talk about me because I may jump up to the ceiling if I talk about you. Listen, you have made me so happy, so pleased to see what you've turned out. And I know the struggle is real, and I know it wasn't easy for you. Maybe someone might have thought, well, Harris, these knees, they got no, we ain't got to go on. We got challenges like everybody. That's why with us, we rooted. We're ground in. We're not up here in no ivory towers.
Yeah.
We're on the ground. We deal with real people, with real problems, trying to find real solutions. This is not no play thing for us. And we come in here to work, and to have you on this show, to come and talk about yourself, what you're doing, what I like to do, if you don't mind. Can you just sort of tell us, what does the future hold for Tamara Aristide? I mean, listen, Tamara, it don't have to be nothing big. It could be something simple.
Yeah.
It could be some next steps. What do you like to do? What are your interests? What are some things you like going on? And I mean, 22 years old, congratulations. I remember I was 22 in college. I could imagine. And 22 probably, I'm 22 in the 80s. Now we 22 and 21, 22. So it's probably a whole different world.
It is. Yeah.
So talk about a little bit of that for me.
Definitely. So academic wise, God willing, I would be RN and probably, I definitely want to get my master's degree in the nursing field. I don't really know where I want to specialize in, but I feel like definitely as I go on, I'll definitely figure my place out in that realm. I don't know about my doctorate yet, but definitely master's. However, I am trying to do something social. I am trying to create this YouTube channel. It's going to be called Illumed Affinity. Growing up, like I mentioned earlier, I grew up with a lot of insecurities. Sometimes I felt very ugly. I felt I was too big, I was too tall, I'm too small, just a whole lot of things. I would let society dictate, who I am and define my beauty. So I decided I wanted to create outreach, like a YouTube channel where I can speak out about these things and, find other girls who are off, going through the same thing as me, and we can talk to each other. We can uplift each other. It's in the works right now. I just filmed my first video. I'll definitely send it to you privately.
Please, I want to listen. This is what's amazing to me. I don't know if it's part of being part of the family, but you're very good at this. I mean, you come on in, it's like you're a natural. I didn't expect this. I don't want nobody to think that you and I practice or train.
No.
We didn't even talk about it. And you are just such a natural. I could see you on your YouTube channel. I could see your show. There's a lady coming on tonight, Miss Chirito, and there's maybe Deborah Nunez and others. I would love for them to talk to you, and I think it'll be good. as a production team, if we could put her information to Ms. Nunez, who's coming up next. I'd love for you to talk to her. I think she would be very helpful. She was instrumental in my career. You've got Ms. Chorito, who's coming up. I think those would be two good people for you to be able to speak with.
Yeah.
These are experienced women. They've done a lot in the community. They've seen a lot. They've been through, the ups and downs like we all go through.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can be helpful, and I'd like to send a couple people just to your way, and maybe I'll go on YouTube and you'll have something, and you'll be talking to these women and these great and powerful women, and you'll be doing some stuff. We're going to reach out to you, and probably Linda and others going to reach out to you about some other projects that they're working on.
Definitely.
We'd like to see if you can be a part of it. But when I say tonight you came on, I am so proud. I am so pleased. You are amazing. You're an amazing woman.
You too.
Look at you, Flourish. Look at you, Tamara, Steve. I'm just lucky I was a piece of it. I'm glad she came to the West.
Yes.
It made me like I had some sense, like I can help be a part of developing a young person.
Did.
I can't thank you enough.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It was a pleasure speaking with you and having this conversation. I appreciate it so very much. And I'm looking forward to succeeding with Aristide August 22.
Let's go ahead and succeed together, family. I appreciate you. You take care now. Thank you so much. Wow. I mean, what a great conversation. Listen, this is the kind of treat you get on a Wednesdays with Wallace. We've had some guests that came on that have been, phenomenal. We've had great dialogues, folks. This is quite a program. If you're watching it, get your friends to watch it. Send it out to people. Let people come and check it out. I thought that what we just spoke about, there's probably a young girl, a young woman that needs to hear that, that's going through those type of challenges. And they could see somebody that went through all that, and she's become a success story. Tamara went through what she went through, lost her mom, her dad, single parent, working night and day, doing the best he can. He had no choice. He's got 2 children. The man's got to work. He's got to feed the family. Kudos to him as a dad, as a single parent. He hung in there. He stayed in the gap. And other people came in and they did it. So, folks, come on in. Tune on in. Get people. Succeed with Aristide. Wednesdays with Wallace. We got this thing coming. We'll be back with Deborah Nunez. Thank you for watching this right now. We'll be right back. I think we're coming back. I guess the production still has me. I thought they were going to go to commercial. We're not coming for just one group. We want everybody to be a part of the campaign. This campaign, you have a community that's 39% African American, 33% Haitian American, 25% Hispanic, and you got about 4 or 5% of Jewish. It is a diverse community. We're going to work from a diverse end. We're not coming to pick one group over another group. We're going to work with everybody collectively in District 2. This is how I was brought up. I was not brought up with a whole bunch of division and divisiveness. We're not coming for division and divisiveness. This campaign is about bringing people together, all sorts of people.
Bo, Wallace, Aristide. 60 with Aristide, North Miami, tap in. Tap to tap to tap, tap in. 60 with Aristide, District 2, tap in. Tap to tap to tap, tap in. 60 with Aristide, North Miami, tap in. Tap to tap to tap, tap in. Aristide a winner, District 2 commissioner. Natural born leader, #1, nobody similar. North Miami bound, tap in, I'm saying listen up. Aristide the best, 30 years and never giving up. Dade County bound, we yelling Aristide. Dedication, motivation, make the city healthy. Bo Aristide, he the GOAT, legendary. August 22, Aristide, no comparing. District 2, 22, you better tap in. Aristide coming through with a different plan. Love the kids, love the people, talking Superman. Aristide going up, talking champion. North Miami, Opa-locka, better tap in. Little River, Ponciana, better tap in. Westview, Poundwood, I said tap in. Hialeah, Succeed with Aristide, District 2, tap in. Tap to tap to tap, tap in. Succeed with Aristide, North Miami, tap in. Tap to tap to tap, tap in. Bo, Wallace, Aristide. Bo, Wallace, Aristide. Bo, Wallace, Aristide.
Wow. Before my guest is here, before I get her to say something, this is an amazing woman, has been extremely helpful. I mean, when I say she's had an impact on me, a great impact, it allowed me to make connections with people. And one of those people, I won't mention his name unless she mentioned his name. We'll say Mr. G for the first name, but he didn't say I could use his name, so I don't want to do that. But Ms. Deborah Nunez is here tonight. I can't thank enough. I can't let her know how much I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Well, I did give you, and you know me, I gave you an assignment. I'm going to see if I can get you with Tamara Aristide. So sorry about that.
I have to tell you, coming on after that young lady is a hard sell. She is a wonderful, wonderful human being, and she has to understand that she really defines resilience. This young lady really has done an amazing job in her life. She has a life path, and she just needs to understand she's beautiful inside and out. And I cannot wait to have the opportunity to speak with her about what her future holds for her.
Well, and I appreciate that, and that's why I mentioned you and our other guests after you to speak to, because I think folks like you and those women that, and people may not know you, and hopefully tonight they'll have a better idea who you are, but I know what kind of person you are. I know what you've done with young people, young men and young women. I know you. I mean, you are a mother, and I see you with the young folks. You just have a way of bringing them and really doing something to them to really impact them. And I think ever since I've known you, you've always worked with young people. I've known you over 20 years, and I've always seen you just like dialogue, and they just seem to listen to you.
Thank you. Well, I think that young people know when adults are genuine.
Yeah.
And like, you've watched me over these years, I've watched you. And what your viewership doesn't know about you is really what they are seeing is really what they're getting. You have always been a champion of children and a champion of the community, whether it's seeing a child who's hungry and giving them a meal, or realizing that they haven't had the opportunity to wash their clothes and making sure that they have money to go and get their clothes washed. Whether they need to sit and talk to somebody because they're having a rough day. You are that person. I've seen you take families and transform them. People that are in the process of maybe losing their home, or they didn't have a meal, they needed somewhere to go. You always, from the minute that I met you, always took care of the people around you. And you're doing that now. You're doing that now as you move forward to take care of the community in a different way. And I'm so excited to be here with you and be a part of this, because I know that District 2 is going to have a phenomenal leader. I've gotten to watch you lead now for 20 plus years. Yes, we're dating ourselves. We're a little older, but District 2 is going to be lucky to have you as a leader, because the truth of the matter is you're going to care about the people there, and you already care about the people there, but you're going to work for them. It's not pretty words. It's just who you are. It's who you are and who you've always been as a person. So I'm excited for that. So I know that you're here to give away some of my secrets, and that's okay. As long as the people here understand that they are just getting truly a wonderful, wonderful man and a wonderful family as we move forward through this. So I cannot wait for August 2022 and to be there to celebrate with all of you as District 2 gets finally a true voice in what happens in their community.
I appreciate you saying that. So this is my first question to you. If they want to know, who's this Deborah Nunez? What's going on, Ms. Ashley? You brought her on the show. Who is she? So who would you say is Deborah Nunez?
Oh, that's a good question. Deborah Nunez is a person who is a lifelong educator, who is a community activist who wants to see an inclusive Miami, who wants children to be able to grow up in a safe place, who wants everybody to have the opportunity to succeed in the way they want to, whether they want to go to college or they want to have a trade or they want to become an entrepreneur, so that our community grows and thrives. And I've been very, very lucky in my life to meet people like you and others who believe in that as well and want to move the community in that direction, to transform Miami into inclusion. So that's who Deborah Nunez is. Someone who wants Miami to be a place where people can live happily together and thrive.
I appreciate you saying that. And you said I'm gonna talk about some of your secrets, but imagine me, I come in there and I meet you, right?
You did.
And you're a school leader, you're an instruction leader, and you're with the little children. How was that? I mean, here you are working. The little children, you got your children, they run all over. How was that? You know, I was so cute and adorable.
Okay, so
how was that experience?
Listen, Mr. Aristide, we got to give context to this. So Mr. Aristide and I worked together. Yes. At Norland Senior High School. I'm going to give it up. And I had two little children who were always in tow, because my main purpose and function was to work with the children in our school to make sure that they were able to graduate and go on to be successes. And I'm very lucky because I still maintain relationships with those high school children who are now adults and parents. So it's great. And he walked in and saw me and you know, those of you who know Mr. Aristide, he's kind of a tall gentleman, and I'm about 5'4" on a good day. And he walked in, and he just did not know what to make of me. And I told him then, and I tell him now, don't let the blonde hair fool you. And he really did not know what to do. And we worked together for many, many years. We had a great time with the children there, working together. And I can tell you, he is a born leader. The impact that he had on the children that he came in contact with as a teacher, as an administrator, as a principal still today, you formed relationships with people that are lifelong and transformed lives. And we had a great time doing it. We really were able to impact people in a positive way. Instead of people getting negativity all the time, if they were in trouble, we did find ways to make it turn into a positive for so many. And you taught me so much about being introspective and letting people talk and listening to what they had to say in order to really understand where they were coming from and how we could help. So I thank you for that. It was a fun time. We really did have fun. And you learned that I knew football, didn't you?
Yes, you I see you got number 20 behind you, but let me say this to you. And this was a night, and I'm going to tell you, I really appreciate this. You invited me to your daughter's bat mitzvah, right? Am I correct?
Did. Yep, we sure did. We celebrated.
That was big for me. And I think, and the reason I asked you that question is, sometime in the community there's so much division and divisiveness. You're an example of somebody, you invite me. Never experienced it before until I went there to your daughter's bat mitzvah. So how do you, as someone who is all inclusive, how did you feel like, hey, you know, I'm inviting this guy, you don't know anything about, how do you process, how do you get people, just your perspective, how do you get people to come together? Because when I say the divisiveness is real, I'm in Biscayne Gardens. Some of the signs I saw, I'm like, where's the leadership? Why are we not telling people you can't do this? I was happy. I believe, you know, our commissioner did say something to discourage it. I will say the county mayor, she said something, but just as leaders, just in your mind, how do we get people to come together? We can't be disunited and we're at odds with one another.
And I wholly agree. I think that so many times in our community, we talk about being inclusive and coming together, but people aren't really willing to talk and to listen and to talk about the hard things, answer the hard questions, see where they're coming from. And that's the one thing that I always loved about you. You didn't care if somebody was purple, yellow, pink, it never mattered. People are people. And you looked at the problem. How do we solve the problem? We know that we have divisiveness in our community, and we have to get together where people stop disliking each other for our differences and realize that it's okay to be different. We can agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, it should come down to how do we live together and how do we work together to better the community, quite frankly, for our children. Because what else do we do this for? We don't do it for ourselves. We do it for who comes after us. And so people need to learn to work together. And the reason that I invited you is because we became like family. And it's fun to celebrate those things in your life that you care about with people that you care about and that you feel are family. We look completely different, yet our values are the same. We care about the same things. We might not always agree on every topic, but at the end of the day, we can come together and unite and become a united front to work in the community to protect our community and our children and make it better. And that's what leadership is. It's bringing people who are different together for the same cause. And I truly believe that you're the person who can do that. You've worked everywhere. People don't know that. You've worked everywhere in Dade County. You haven't always just worked in the Norland area. Yes. You've worked in Aventura. You've worked on the beach. You've worked in downtown. You've been with me in Liberty City.
Yes.
And people know, people can tell when you're a real person and you care about things. And that's you care about bringing the community together for the good.
You don't know how much I appreciate that. And when we're able to get you on the show, I was so happy to have you as a guest because I wanted people to hear from you because you somebody, you know who I am.
I do.
And there's going to be people that be watching this scene. Who is this guy? I mean, there's going to be some. And I've been fortunate. I won't lie to you. When we go visit people, myself and the team, we've been very fortunate. There's a lot of people that know who we are. So that's a good thing. That's good. There's some that don't know, and we created this program so they can find out about who we are. And I'd like to ask you this question before we go to our next guest. What is your future like? You mentioned the work you did at Liberty City, which we know. I know that you're an advocate. You're a community activist. You're out here trying to help people in the. I know you, but just so our people that are listening, our audience, what would you say are some of your goals in the future? What are some things you'd like to do moving forward?
Me personally, right now, I'm working to make sure that people who are unemployed have the opportunity for employment. It is imperative in a community that people are able to sustain themselves. So how do you do that? You've got to do that with a good paying job and with stability. And you do that through work. So I'm doing that right now. But my ultimate goal when I grow up is to continue to work in the community and work in the area of foster care. And those young people who are aging out of foster care, making sure that they have the same opportunities. Like Tamara said, you go on hard times. You don't know really what you want to do with your life. And sometimes you need those adults in your life as role models to kind of guide you and help you and make you feel good about yourself. We know that we've got a lot of children who have gone through the foster care system who are aging out. So my real true passion in moving forward is to be able to help them transition into adulthood where they have people like you, like me, like others who care about children there to help guide them through that process. So one day I'll get there, but also just to make sure that our community understands that they need to come together because our future is our children, and that we need to incorporate that with everybody and just include all of our children in going to the next level and becoming a great community. So that's really what I would like to do.
I appreciate you saying that. There's a gentleman by the name of Nelson and Copy. I don't know. Do you know Nelson?
I do.
I think I can see you and him working together as a dream team. He's phenomenal. He's been on the show. I don't know if you know that, but
oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, he listen.
Wait a minute, I missed one session. I watched them all, Mr.
You must have missed the one Nelson was on. Nelson and Copy was on our show. He and I have like values. I mean, there's another gentleman. I'd like to mention his name, but I don't want to mention their names because they haven't given me permission. There's another gentleman we're going to try to invite in January. He's a lover of children also. We will see if I can get the team to put him on. But I can't thank you enough tonight for coming on. I knew this was going to be the talk I was looking for from you. I knew we were going to have this conversation. It is so great. I've gotten you a new friend, Tamara Aristide. So
Tamara, I can't wait to see you. Mr. Aristide, thank you for having me on. I just tell the community, vote for Wallace Aristide. You will not go wrong. He is a leader. He will support the community, and he will make sure that things really get better in our community and everyone is represented. I love you. I'm thrilled to be here with you. I wish everybody a happy and a healthy holiday and a happy new year. I can't wait to see you soon.
Okay. I can't either. Much love to you, the entire family. You got the whole family. You have an amazing family. I love each and every one of you. I want to thank you so much. Thank you for being on Wednesdays with Wallace.
Thank you, Mr. Aristide, again. Have a great night.
Have a great night. Wow, folks. Listen, we had two guests tonight. Listen, production team isn't me. I mean, the guests are on fire tonight. I know I got two more scorchers coming on. Folks, you better stay there and keep watching this. Folks, if you want to send us a chat, you want to send us something, you want to connect, you want to communicate, you watching Wednesdays with Wallace, you listen. Folks, we've been fortunate. We've been blessed. The guests have been hot. They've been amazing. It continues to be an exceptional show because of the guests that we've had. But these people are talking to you. They're letting you know who this person is, who is Wallace Aristide. And I just want to be employed by you in District 2. I want you to be my employer. If you punch the ticket, you could hire me. And we'll be right back after this next commercial. Thank you so much.
Succeed with Aristide.
Succeed at Aristide.
Succeed with 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 Aristide. Succeed with Aristide.
Succeed with Aristide.
Political ad paid for and approved by Wallace Aristide, candidate for County Commissioner, District 2, nonpartisan. Let's go for it. We're committed to the success of this campaign, Miami-Dade County Commissioner, District 2. So we look forward. I want to thank everybody we talked about last night. I just want to thank you. Let's continue to work. We got a lot of work to do. We got a year and a half out. Let's continue to encourage people. Let's continue to find voters. We're going to be canvassing the community, making those connections, trying to see what we can do. How do we help? Things that we can create to make this a Miami-Dade that works for everybody. Wow, listen. Welcome. This show has been hot. It's going to get hotter. We got a young lady that's coming on, and this young lady that's in front of me, Miss Sharon Charito Henley.
Bonsoir, Monsieur Aristide.
Bonsoir.
Buenas, mi gente. What's going on?
The lady speaks all the languages. She's here
Listen,
tonight.
listen, I'm so grateful to be here. Do you realize that we've known each other for 26 years? It's amazing. And I was with Tamara, please. She's gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I
Thank you.
would love to, you please give her my phone number. I want to
I will
connect
do
with her. Shout out to Ms. Nunez. I haven't seen her in years.
Really?
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Wow.
She's still doing the work.
No, she's still doing the work, but you do the work also. So I'm going to start with you. Hey, I love you. I love. Listen now, the lady got in her background. You better tune in every Sunday
Every
from 12 p.m.
Sunday.
to 2 p.m. Now, this lady's dynamic. So can you tell the audience, the people that are listening, who is Miss Sharon Henley?
I'm a crazy lady. You know, I'm an advocate for children. I'm an advocate for parents. And yesterday I served as a principal for the day at Dr. Henry Mack under Dr. Williams. And I just love the work that I do. I've been serving my community for 25 years, still a certified teacher. And I'm still that person that, you know, we talk about the Bible. I know a lot of people went to church on Sunday and we had the Thanksgiving celebration, but I'm the disciple that cut the ear off of the soldiers that came for Jesus. So I'm that person, and I'm just so happy to be here. All the great work that we've done together. I used to always get ridiculed for having you and your brother as my principals of the year every year annually, but you all topped out, and it's just a great work. I've been with Miami-Dade County Public Schools as well as the Urban League, where I'm currently now for 25 years serving the community. And it's important, you mentioned community, church, and school. Those are the three elements that make our cities go the way they're going. And the more work that we do, the more collaborative partnerships that we have, they're essential to our communities. But I just want to say, they said succeed with Aristide. What else can you do without the Aristide family? You know, the history behind us, many people don't know. You're a cook. You are a I can't say seamstress.
Yeah.
You, the first time I met you, it was about fruits and vegetables. You would show me how to cut the fruits and mix the fruits for the beverages, the drinks. And then you got me hooked on a local Black-owned restaurant that service our Liberty City community. But what else can you do, Mr. Aristide, but become an elected official? You've been a principal. You still are a principal. Many people called you dad, father. Many of the children that did not have fathers in our communities. It's been a long process for you just to get to the point where being a principal is a difficult job. Many people think that because you have a staff and individuals that assist you, it's easy. No, that's a 24-hour-a-day job every day on the weekends. And I've been with you in those instances when we found children that were homeless, seeking to get them scholarships and opportunities. And they have come back into our communities and just made this world and this work much easier. But then there's still more work to do. And that work is going to be at a higher level than principal, which would be an elected official. Wallace, we're going to do it.
No, I really appreciate that. Let me talk about a couple of things here, because one thing you touched upon, and it's big for me, is businesses. I remember at one time we were on 7th Avenue, myself, and I don't, sometimes I got to ask the people if I can mention their names, but there's an elected official. I work with others, and we were trying to support the Black businesses I was a youngster at that time.
Yeah.
From 54th Street to 79th Street, we were trying to get people to come and support those businesses. Those businesses get beat up.
Yeah.
They get beat up bad. Sometimes I was working with a young lady with the Small Business Administration. And she was wonderful, a Hispanic young lady. She was wonderful. She was very helpful to me. But when I talked to those people from the Black businesses, they did not have the connections.
Yeah.
They did not know certain people who they could speak with. Because what I used to do is I used to test during the pandemic. I would test because I had a business myself. You know, I had the tailoring business for years.
Right.
We had a shop, what have you. We did that for years.
Right.
But that was my, I'm like Tamara and like you, like Nunez and others. We work night and day. We just work
night and day.
So we're workers. So I understand the support the businesses need. They didn't have the connections, because I would talk to other business. Oh, we got it. Ms. Aristide, we know You know, I talk to business, all kind of communities, because, you know, I work with all these different people. And they had the connections. But when you're talking about Liberty City, talk about Little Haiti, maybe areas in North Miami, areas in Miami Gardens, you know, what have you, some areas down south, maybe in Homestead, whatever. They just don't have the,
Well,
they don't know
see,
the people in the banks.
what happened with that was the current agency, Urban League of Greater Miami, we support Black vendors. And for about 10 years, we supported Shakers on 54th, right across from Zeta Center, when we had the SAT test camp, where a lot of your students from Norland attended, and some of them received scholarships through the National Urban League. But my partnership with our Black-owned businesses is so essential because we need to make sure that they're involved in our processes as it relates to activities, food services. Now, we've heard that old saying that Black-owned businesses, they do not know how to treat customers. They have poor customer service, but that has changed. That has evolved. Every place that you go in Liberty City, they do have individuals that own restaurants that have high-class individuals, and they have been trained and they've been educated on the word workforce and, of course, customer service. But that all starts in high school, believe it or not, because many of the students that come through your school, specifically at when you were at Miami Northwestern, those children had to learn etiquette, and you had separate classes. One thing I really admire about you, Wallace, is the fact that you don't have a problem with saying I was wrong. I made a mistake. Let's fix it. And you have always had that good persona. And if there was something that needed to be done, you said, hey, let's come together at the table. You know, I don't know everything. Let's put our minds together. Let's put our work together and just make this thing work. And then the second thing I really admire about you is that you give the opportunity for people to speak and you listen. Many people don't know how to listen and communicate effectively. And then lastly, you're just a great all-around person. You know, laughter, jokes, we have a great time. Many people see your smile. That is a genuine smile. You're always going to leave Wallace Aristide with a smile, because he's going to leave you with something positive that will make you smile and laugh and remember some old times. So I can appreciate the fact that you asked about those businesses and companies, but I would like to see a little bit more. And I noticed, and I was enjoying the commercials and videos. Shout out to Gabrielle Cheristal. Charles did a great job, and everyone that's working. And I noticed that North Miami Beach, you had a couple of photos there. So I want to give a shout out to North Miami Beach Police Department. I serve on their board under PAL with Linda Robertson, of course, the best chief Richard Rand. But I would like to see more collaborative partnerships. The police department is just doing a great job, but we still do lack some resources and funding for the homeless and for initiatives that they want to do in those communities. And I would like to see a little bit more put into law enforcement as far as funding, and also just those groups that we support children. You know, I've heard the stories and rumors about we had a couple of guns on campuses at different places with children and students, and we still have to think about the safety of our community and the safety of our families and friends that are walking around and participating in these different venues and activities. So that's another portion that I would like to see across District 2. As far as my favorite Commissioner Montezuma has done a great job, but of course he's telling everyone he's going to have to pass it on, and there are many candidates, but there's a lot of work to be done, and I think you're really fit to do this work.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, and I'll say this. I've been fortunate. A lot of places I've worked, I've always come in contact with the police. I've always thought you had to build a relationship with the police.
Very important.
I always encourage police, like when I work with them, let's get to know the people, know the clientele. If you're at a school, you want to know the students. Right. If you're in the community, you want to know the people in the community. Because if I know you and there's an incident, I'm going to deal with you from a different perspective instead of you're a complete stranger. So I'm big on community policing. I saw some improvement. There's a community not too far from us where I saw some improvement where the police went out, and you can see the crime rate in one of the communities in the north section. And the data is there. People can go take a look at it themselves. There was a decrease in crime because they went out and they started making the connection with members of the community. The people in the community want to make the connection. Everybody I go talk to, they want a police presence. They want, but the key is it's serve and protect. That has got to be the key. It's got to be having people that are law enforcement that are serving and protecting the citizens. I think that is big. I think that's major. And I'm going to say this too. When it comes to businesses and organizations and people that are entrepreneur in our community, I think something is big. And you're right. We have a tremendous commissioner in District 2. He and I have continuous dialogue. He's been very supportive of me.
Yeah.
He's given money at the school. He's done some stuff to support me. He was there when we were blessed with the Super Bowl tickets. He was there.
Yes.
Our superintendent was there. And then the Aristide brothers got recognized. So he has been, listen, he's been phenomenal for us.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan because of that. People need information.
Yeah.
And there's got to be something that's being done. And I just think that, as we look into the future, a big part of what we need to do as those leaders, those elected officials, let the people know, hey, these are something you could take advantage of.
Right.
It's going to be something similar like what I did when I got to the school. We had a low graduation rate. We just kept, we wouldn't stop. We kept encouraging it. And you leave with a 95% when you were trying to get just a 50%. That's a big difference.
That's a huge difference. But you went and knocked on doors. You found students that dropped out who were eligible to return. You were able to get their parents to see the vision that we can find you alternative assistance for working. And then you found some parents that didn't have their GED and sent them right on to Dorsey. Shouts out to Dr. Angela Dupree at D.A. Dorsey Technical College. That is something that you have done over the past years. And like Ms. Nunez said, you've been around this county, this city, and you know the individuals and the people. And I know there are generations of families that have benefited under your leadership, under your guidance, and primarily just under your humanistic nature and care. And I can appreciate that. And I've always, every time you've ever contacted me or I've contacted you, we've always been there for each other because we understand this goal. And then, I used to get upset. You'll say, okay, Miss Henley.
But can I say this to you, Ms. Henley?
You can.
What I like about you, when I contacted you, I was always asking for something. I never call without asking for anything. And I think anybody who knows me as a commissioner of District 2, I'm going to call some people. We're going to ask some people. They're going to be a developer. They're going to be somebody that
there's going to be somebody to work.
That we need some assistance, some support for our folks. Affordability is big. The affordable housing is, we got, listen, I went to a home the other day with somebody. It was tough, Miss Henley. They were putting the person and the whole family house stuff outside. It just broke my heart. I didn't have a fortune on me. I gave the lady a little something. She was so grateful that I put a little something, blessed her hand, and the guy that was with me said, I know your heart. I know where you're at. It was just heartbreaking to see this lady stuff being put outside on the streets. And the people that came and did it, I wouldn't say they're the most humane people out there. Those are some things that we need to look at. Those are some things we've got to go ahead and help our citizens see it. Those are things we want to come and make some improvement and some progress in District 2. We need to do the outreach. This is going to have to be a thing where the government not waiting on you to knock on their door. They're going to come and knock on your door and see what the problems are and see how we can help, how we can be a benefit, how we can be a value add. And Ms. Henley, I'm so glad you came. Can you talk a little bit about your show and what's the future for Ms. Henley, if you don't mind?
So my show, Conversations with Charito, I have a LLC and a nonprofit organization. So my attempt at doing this show, it just happened by disseminating information. Shout out to AP Strong, Arthur Papillon, and the Papillon family, and of course DJ Ben Hop, the co-owner of Excitement Radio Station. And I'm 6 years strong just by their support. So it just started out by disseminating information about what we just talked about: resources, school support, information about what's important for parents, even the COVID vaccination, a resource for the loans, PPP loans, etc. So I've been doing that for some time. And in the spring of 2022, I'll be receiving my master's in new media journalism because I want to expand my radio station. I had a couple of internships, paid internships for students this past summer, and I'm looking forward to getting some more funding. So Tamara will have a free internship from me. I want to teach her how to work the boards. I want to teach her how to, I'm going to ask her to be a guest on my show so she could be my co-host one day so she can share her story. And I'm going to give her as much insight as I possibly can because she has a phenomenal story and she made it. And to grow up without her mother and just everything that she went through. And she's beautiful, gorgeous. I can't believe she felt that she was ugly. She has a brilliant, wonderful smile and a wonderful outlook. And I hope that I can be of assistance to her, as you stated. I would love to have her in the studio with me and we could just talk and give her some tips. And she could probably give me some tips on some things. So I'm so grateful that you even mentioned my name in the sentence with her. I look forward to doing that. But for the future, I'm going to continue working for my community. I'm at the Urban League of Greater Miami, 25 years strong. Look forward to serving my community a little further. And if I hit that Powerball this weekend, I'm out of there.
Listen, I'm really be calling you. You're gonna be like, why this man won't stop calling?
But you know, there are certain principals and friends of mine that have been in this fight, and I always told them that I will never forget them when I win, not if, but when I win. Whatever the lottery is, I will still provide and give. I've given so many days of service to my community, but always the Aristide brothers. And like I said before, I got ridiculed. Why do you always support them? Because I know that you all do the work. And you know that I can't be the nicest person at all times. Yeah. I'll say that joke.
No, I understand. Listen, you don't know how much I appreciate you coming on tonight. This was big for me. When I was so able to get you on, you ought to see me like, why he's jumping up and that. Just the excitement. I know where you come from. I know where your heart. I know your love and your passion for the community. I know the work that you put in. You put in the work. You don't talk about it. You get it done. So I can't thank you enough. I'm looking forward to getting you and Tamara together. I really think you will be an example that she could see somebody with a presence, somebody that has an impact. Because I know she want to be great, just like you.
She's going to be great. Oh, my goodness. But I want to say thank you so much for having me on tonight. And many people know I don't associate with many. So if I'm on here, I support you.
Thank you so much.
Love your family and just continue doing what you're doing. I look forward to seeing you next year. So when I celebrate my graduation, I'm going to be celebrating something else along with you. Hopefully we'll see each other soon. And until then, stay safe, sane, and sanitize. And may God continue to bless you all.
Amen. Amen. You got a whole crew that sending messages. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. We love that lady. She's phenomenal. She's a phenomenal woman. The Lewises sent a message. Deborah Nunez sent a message. I mean, just Sharon Henley, Sharito. I mean, wow. The show has been hot. We got all three ladies been hot now. We got a hot guy coming. I don't know. The young people call it the hot boys. I don't know. We got the one and only, the wildfire coming. So we're looking forward to it. We'll see you right after the commercial break. Wow. We're not coming for just one group. We want everybody to be a part of the campaign. This campaign, you have a community that's 39% African American, 33% Haitian American, 25% Hispanic, and you got about 4 or 5% of Jewish. It is a diverse community. We're going to work from a diverse end. We're not coming to pick one group over another group. We're going to work with everybody collectively in District 2. This is how I was brought up. I was not brought up with a whole bunch of division and divisiveness. We're not coming for division and divisiveness. This campaign is about bringing people together, all sorts of people.
Hola, me llamo Marcia Sánchez y soy graduada de Miami Northwestern del año de 2021. Yo triunfé con el director Aristide. Ustedes también pueden triunfar con Aristide.
Hey, I'm Najee Davenport. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, watching it live. Coach Aristide, Steve with Wallace Aristide. It's opportunity, right? We need you to hit that link, click the link in the bio, donate, pledge to donate, $25, $10, $100, $1,000 if you got it. Everything's appreciated. That's a great man right there. He needs your support.
We're committed to the success of this campaign. Miami-Dade County Commissioner, District 2. So we look forward. I want to thank everybody we talked about last night. I just want to thank you. Let's continue to work. We got a lot of work to do. We got a year and a half out. Let's continue to encourage people. Let's continue to find voters. We're going to be canvassing the community, making those connections, trying to see what we can do. How do we help? Things that we can create to make this a Miami-Dade that works for everybody. Wow. Listen, it's been a hot night. We got a hot guy. This guy come with red hot on me. You see this man right here, you're going to meet Samson Wi-Fi. He has done so much. He thinks I've done a lot in his life. He's done a lot in my life. When you have someone that has been under your tutelage, under your leadership, he called to check on me all the time. He don't know what that means to me. You know, he called, hey, Unc, how you doing? I mean, here go this man has always want to know how I was, what's going on in my life. And sometimes I don't thank him enough. I got to thank him for doing that. He has done the outreach. He has made the contact. So tonight, I'm glad he's here. Samson Hilton, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I'm so glad you came here tonight. Thank you for coming.
God bless, King. I'm honored and humbled to be here with you during this moment, man. It's awesome. Yeah. Amazing.
No, I appreciate you saying that. And I know, listen, I know you can give us a whole lot of story. You've been through a lot. I've known you've done a lot in your life. You've been involved in numerous things. And I just like you, if you don't mind, just tell our audience a little bit about who are you? Who is Samson Hilton?
A child of God, first and foremost.
Yes. Yes.
A blessed being who just, living the testimony, just carrying my own cross. I'm just blessed enough to be here to beat all the statistics through prayer and hard work. Of course, with angels such as yourself that the Almighty has placed in my path. I come from a single parent home, immigrant, hardworking mother, queen of my life, who introduced me to God in prayer and watching her work hard. And it came to a certain point in time in my life, in my later years in high school, where, you start getting into trouble. I tried to stay out of it, but it was around quite often. But praise God, due to some shifting in schools, I met yours truly, Mr. Wallace Aristide, my James Evans. I grew up without a father figure. Those that were around, didn't cut the mustard. But man, when I met James Evans, aka Wallace Aristide, man, he set us straight. And it was an amazing time. Listen, it was some tough times. Camp Wallace was tough. But to be honest with you, man, it helped shape me and get me ready for the real world. It was amazing, man. And the standards you set, what you stood for, your drive. And I watched you go through all those obstacles, and it was quite a bit. But, you never gave up. You kept pushing forward. This is the guy that I witnessed come out of his pocket, man. Without you, I wouldn't have made it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? How you promoted and work hard for everyone, even with the naysayers, it didn't look good, but it was like a movie, to be honest with you. It was like a movie to me. Sit back and watch. It was crazy. I remember one time, to be honest with you, I'll tell a quick story. When we played Norland, it was a tough game, and I experienced a concussion. So I'm on the sidelines. And then, I come to, and I said to myself, wow, I was almost lost my life. I
Wow.
was almost it for me. Because the week prior, I remember the year prior, I played against a young man named Kendrick English, who he had made the wrong hit, and he was a paraplegic from that.
Wow.
And I made a similar hit, and my body went numb. And when I woke up and came to, I was asking myself, wow, do I still really want to play? So I said, man, how am I going to tell Wally? How am I going to tell him I don't want to play anymore? But something happened, and you was doing your thing, and I just started laughing on the sideline. Man, I can't leave, man. It's just too much. It's a movie, but it's what it is, man. I appreciate you, man. I couldn't begin to tell the stories and what I've been through and how I watched, you persevered through all those obstacles and what you've done, especially when you left and went off to different schools. Everywhere you went, you set a standard. Everywhere you went, everybody knew who you were, and it was amazing to know that this brother, this black man, this Haitian black man, you know, uh, just breaking barriers, and I'm proud to say it. I don't want to sound cultural. I don't want to sound racist or anything, but coming from where I come from and growing up in the era I grew up in, there wasn't much black men, much Haitian black men getting respect. So when you finally see one standing up and getting that respect from everybody, from all cultures, all races, man, it's just proud. You know what I'm saying? It raised my level of being proud of who I am.
I'm glad you say that, because there is, and people may not notice, it is a challenge, especially back in the day. I think things are a little different now, but back in the day, if you are Haitian American and you're a guy, and you the insecurities, you're not feeling comfortable, you don't know who's there to support you. There's the paranoia. It can be tough, and I grew up at a time where a lot of folks, they didn't want nobody to know who they were. But I was so blessed with a family that made me feel proud of who I was. There was never no there was no shame. There was not. Listen, I go to Bethune-Cookman. They all know he's a Haitian guy. There's no misunderstanding. No mistake. There was nothing to hide. So I grew up, and I'm gonna go into this, and I want to talk about our parents for a minute, because we have some very similar stories. I grew up at a time where a young man, back in the time I grew up, we're around the same age. He and I would have been around the same age now. He didn't want nobody to know that he's from Haiti, his family from Haiti. And the man killed himself, because that's a problem. And I was blessed to never feel that way. My family instilled in us a sense of pride. We were never embarrassed. We were never ashamed. There was back in the 70s, something bad happened. One of my sisters, Rose, I love her dearly. There was a Winn-Dixie at Sable Palm. And a lot of people from Haiti would go to the store, and they make you raise your hand, and they spray underneath your arms. One day she put on a performance there. All the news stations came. The police came. After that day, they never did that no more. Imagine you're a little boy in the early 70s. I'm a little toddler, and I'm watching this. I'm like, something's wrong here. This shouldn't be happening. But the family they were so proud. My dad, who, he was normally in the Bahamas. He normally, great guy, but he normally spent most of the time in the Bahamas. So 99% of the time I was with mom. All right, because he was, he had his business there, whatever. He was doing his thing there. So I'm mostly there with my mother. So when we say similar background, I understand what you're talking about. And I always understood people like you and those other young men that were in the program, and I know they were with a single mom. And I wanted to make sure I was going to do my part to stand in the gap when there was no adult man in their life to be able to help these guys. And I knew sometime I could have been tough. I could have been overbearing. But life can be tough, and it can be overbearing. Very. And I didn't want them to make a mistake or do something wrong. Now you caught up with law enforcement, and we couldn't help you. So we always try to instill those values to help them do the right thing, because being with a single mom, I know you could talk about that. You know, I mean, it's just you and moms.
That's it.
And you were the only child?
No, I had other siblings, but I was the second oldest. My oldest sister, she was in Haiti, and I was basically the oldest of three more siblings. But for a time, it was me solo, and then the rest of them came.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, it got to a time where I got a little out of hand, you know. But James Evans stepped right in.
You know what's funny when you say that? I just seen the specialized of people that don't know how to act. And they get a there's a guy I was working at Miami Central years ago in the early 90s. And there's a guy that talks about me. And I remember how tough it was for a lot of that, because at that time the Haitian American population was growing in Miami Central. And there was some animosity, there was some chaos. But I saw everybody, Haitian American, African American, Hispanics. We got, you know, and I work with a great guy, Charles Bethel. You know, people may know Kenny Rowe. I work with Laurent Cook, Reed, Willie Turner. I work with some good guys. We came together and we saw a shift where instead of everybody at odds with one another, the school and the students started coming together, and it didn't become an issue. It didn't become a problem, because 10 years earlier, it'd have been a problem.
Yeah.
And I think that's how you get Zopa and all these other things that develop from there. And that's another story for another time, because there's been some issues and challenges in this state, in the state of Florida, with the division and the disunitedness. That's why I'm big on getting it. Listen, for me, Mr. Hilton, it's going to be about, in District 2, they got a guy, I'm not about, this ain't me talking, this is what I do. I get people, and you see me working, just like Ms. Nunez, Henley, and others. We're going to get everybody to come together. We got to in District 2 for it to be a better place. But talk to me a little bit about, you come there, you're on the team, you're a ball player, you left where you left at. I know it's a quiet, I know it's a culture shock. It was a
big
so
time.
talk a little bit about that and how you got to college and all that, if you don't mind.
Well, I came from MacArthur and Hollywood, and we had a pretty decent team, pretty good team. You know, there was some great coaches up there, great situation. It's just, you know, you just keep hearing about Dade County football, and the schedule was amazing. You set us up with a classic schedule. I mean, it was a dream. Unfortunately, everybody didn't feel that way. But I'm a competitor, man. I'm a competitor, and I want to go against Goliath, man. I'm like David, you know. I want to go against the monsters, and you set us up with the hardest district. Period. We played everyone from Central, you know, saying the West, CC, and they were coming back-to-back champs that year. So it was tough. We had an awesome team. It's just that, you know, not everybody believed, and there was a lot of turmoil. But to watch you go through all that and still, you know, instill the discipline in us, having us sit in front of the classes. You know, you changed everything around. You know, there was a lot of naysayers, but the structure was fine with me because I believed. And with me hanging in there, sticking to my grades, I took school more seriously because there was a figure in front of me that, seeing what you went through and all the ordeals, what I was going through was nothing. I just got to go sit in front of class. You know, I mean, I saw real life with what you were dealing with and what you were preaching. And I remember in the Central game, and I was beat. I was out there. Defense was out there the whole dang game. And I'm out there just waiting to get on. I'm trying to catch a breather. And all I hear is, Hilton! Hilton! Like, what is that? I see Central. They all look to the sideline. I look to the sideline, and this is you standing there. And they gave me some more juice, and else, you know, I went in, and you know, I at the end of the day, got a full scholarship, which, you know, you standing behind me and promoting my athletic abilities and contacting every single school, whether I deserved it or not. But you know, they bid, and I went off and I did a little bit, some things, came back, I learned some more life, took a different path due to the grace of God, and now, you know, I'm a security professional, you know, 20 years in, Been doing it for quite some time and made it to a high level now. So I'm extremely grateful. You know, life don't stop when you got to change lanes. You know, it's just what you're made of. And, you know, at that time, being in Camp Wally, it prepared me for what's really out here, man. And when I heard, listen, when I heard you went from Norland to the West, I was like, oh, Lord.
Hey, you stop for young people. You ain't feel bad for me. You like,
no.
They gotta do this.
When I heard Wally's at the West,
it's gonna be a treat.
ooh, I said, boy, they better watch out. And man, you did some amazing things, man. It was incredible. It was awesome, and I know that you're gonna do even greater for the district over there. You know what I'm saying? And whatever's next, you know, they just better be ready because it's a change coming.
Well, I'm glad you said something big, and I've always loved it. The naysayers, they may be watching, someone may be watching, or they might hear it someday. I love them the most because it's just something about, for me, and I think you're the same. I always like to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
I want to prove them what they think is impossible because, I mean, there was a lot of ridicule at the school when we got there. Hey, this guy should be coaching soccer. These guys ought to be playing soccer. Because of school, you know, that was the mentality at that time because they didn't have a feeder pattern. Some of the schools you mentioned, they had feeder patterns.
Oh, a lot, yeah, definitely.
You know, Carroll City. So they had feeder patterns. This place, we didn't have the feeder. So the football IQ for a lot of the people, I knew it was a struggle. I knew it was a challenging, but I knew it was going to be a lot of work. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every single young person I worked with. I loved each and every one of you. And you are somebody that I care so much about. You're not a guy that played for me. You're a family. You are family. Your mom has been my family, you know, just the way we've connected. I am truly grateful and I appreciate the connection that we've made over. I mean, here goes someone. What we at? 23, 24, 5. It's 24 years ago. You in high school, 23 years ago. It's been that long.
Yeah, it's been forever.
It's been a while. And we still have that rapport. We have that relationship. I was so proud of you when I saw your big promotion. When you get promoted, it's like I get promoted. I'm like, wait,
amen. That's how it's supposed to feel. We family, man.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to feel.
When I see you doing things, I feel like I'm a part of it. I feel like, hey, this is my guy. He's doing it, you know. My nephew.
Hey, you had a hand in that. Yeah, for real. You had a hand in that. And for real, it's I can't stress enough, man. You're one of the realest men that I've encountered in my life. You know, it's one of the realest ever. It don't change. You don't change. Your speed don't change. Your gear don't change. You know what I'm saying? It's you just foot on the gas and serious. You know what I'm saying? We joke and laughing and then flick that switch. Back to business. All right, let's get to work. So, you know, I'm real anxious and excited to see, you know, what God has for you next in this next chapter with where you're going. Just know I'm here, man, if you need security, man, because I know some of these jokers like to play games over there, you know.
I appreciate it.
Hey, yeah, we got you, man. We got your back, brother. You know, you got some real ones behind you.
I appreciate this. Let me close out with this last question for you. What do you see in the future? What are some of the things you like to do? And because I know you got family, I know you got a great family. I see you in all the, you know, you're a social media guy. I might be a social media baby. You're a social media giant. I see you out there. So, what are some of the things next for you? And I know you're fully involved in your family, and I love that about you.
Well, just recently, my main thing, to be honest with you, I realized at a very early time in football, as soon as I got off the plane in Missouri, I never told anyone. I started sharing this story. I know you remember that I had experienced some homesickness, which was crazy because I was so ready to go, ready to leave. But I had an epiphany that I wanted to do some inspirational speaking, some motivational speaking. And I started doing that over the years. I do a little bit on social media. And as of recently, as this church, this congregation that my tribe, we have been going and sitting and studying and learning at Living Seed Ministry over here in Miami Gardens. I've been blessed with the opportunity due to the grace of God and the steward of the house to, get my first live, first preaching. I get third Sunday. I'm gonna be live on stage, so it's gonna be my
I
first.
want to be there. Make sure you give me an invite, please.
I got you.
But if I get too excited, say he don't mean no harm. That's just
it's gonna be my first, man, and I'm so excited. I'm anxious. I've wanted to do this for a long time now. Just been inching closer and closer and figuring out a way how to get to it. I started doing it on social media due to a brother of mine who passed. Saying God bless our transition brother Lavelle. He used to speak on social media all the time, saying some motivational stuff, inspirational stuff. So he inspired me to move forward and do it after his transitioning. I initially did it to honor him, and it was a way of God urging me to move forward. So I started doing it on a prayer line that we have every Tuesday and Friday with the church. And I started doing a little something here and there, and the pastor heard it, and he believed that, I should move forward and take it to the next level. So that's going to be it. I'm looking forward to some more chances and opportunities to speak. I just want to inspire and motivate people just to be better, to see the light, because I've had dark moments in life where, I thought I was going to go to the NFL. I thought I was going to the league. I worked so hard for it, and that's all I did was eat, sleep, football. I could have did more, but it didn't pan out the way I thought it would. And so when I came to the realization that it wasn't for me, and I felt out of love with it, I was dumbfounded. I was confused. I was lost. I felt worthless. I felt less than who I always knew that I could be. And when you get to a point in life where you thought you had it figured out, but you come to realize you don't know anything, for a man, it's devastating. But God brought me back out of that and showed me that it's more than just the physical. It's about the spiritual aspect. It's about the being within me. It's about him working in, on, around, and through me into this world. So the next chapter for me, man, I'm just going in on speaking more, preaching more of his word, just allowing him to encompass my whole being even more so I could just speak the message that he has to pour through me. I pray. I know it's not easy. It's not simple. I'm still a newbie to it, but I just want to do his will. That's all I want to do. Just like he's doing his will through you, I just want to do his will through me and move forward in a positive direction for all of his children, for the entire kingdom. That's it.
I appreciate you saying what you're saying. I think you have a very positive message. I'm really looking forward to it. I know you're a very positive person. I know some of the challenges you've had, and let me say what's big here in this conversation we're having. You have a testimony, and there's some people that need to hear this, because I've been there too. I thought I was going to go there, and it didn't happen for me, but it's okay. It's okay, because some of these things I might have thought is what I wanted, but I was directed. Like this whole commission thing, I didn't choose it; it chose me. Because if you'd asked me 2 or 3 years ago if I was going to do this, I was going to say, "Are you on something? Are you okay?" But this opportunity is an opportunity that chose me. We looked at it, my wife, we talked about it, and that's why we're here now. And I think it's the same thing with you. You get an opportunity, you might have think you chose that opportunity. That opportunity chose you. There's something bigger than all of us.
I would have never thought of it. Yeah, you're right. Definitely. I would have never thought I'd be preaching, man. That was far from, in my mind. Far from in my mind, man. Come on, it was Samson Wildfire. I was rapping, doing music, you know what I'm saying?
I know, but there's other people that are going through what you're going through. They need to hear from you. That's why you got the job.
Amen.
Just like Charito say, she'd be like Peter, chopping off ears and all that. So I get it. So I can't thank you enough tonight for coming on Wednesdays. This is big, man. I appreciate you coming on. Bless you, love the whole family.
Love you, King.
Love all of y'all. Y'all are amazing, okay?
Man, I'm honored and humbled, man. I pray for the best. God's will be for you and the entire campaign and all of his kingdom. Big things are on the horizon. Let's continue to, everyone play their part.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, what a dialogue with production team. I don't know if it's me, but this thing get better every week. we're getting ready to let you go. We about 7 minutes past our time, but it was so good tonight. We had so much fun tonight. We had a great conversation with so many people. People sending amen on the chat. Thank you for sending your amens. I really appreciate all the guests. I appreciate all the dialogue. I want you to know, District 2, what you see is what you're going to get. You're not going to get nobody different. I'm coming to work. I'm not coming for something specific for me. I'm coming to serve a community that I love and I care about. All these people are showing you there's some credibility behind Wallace Aristide. All these people you're talking to, they're showing and they're demonstrating the leadership. Let's go by the data. The data demonstrates the work that we expect to do, the things that we're going to do together. Let's collaborate. Let's succeed with Aristide. Réussir avec Aristide. Tre fort con Aristide. Okay? Tre fort con Aristide. Tre fort con Aristide. Réussir avec Aristide. Succeed with Aristide. We want to make sure you get it. Okay? So let's get it done, folks. Let's go do this. www.wallacearistide.com. 786-468-1579. Let's get out there. Remember the big date, August 23rd, 2022. We need you in the place. We'll be out there. We'll be talking to you. We're coming, folks. This is not a candidate sitting down thinking something's going to be given to them. I want to earn your vote. I want to earn your support. I want to earn you as a volunteer. I want to earn you as a contributor and a donor. I want to earn it from you. I'm coming to work for you. I want to work for you in District 2. Let's get it done. Thank you for being on the wall on Wednesdays with Wallace. www.wallacearistide.com. Get on there now. You got our phone number. You got the information. Join us. Help us. Let's do something for Miami-Dade County. Let's do something for District 2. It's got to work for everybody, and that includes you. Thank you so very much.
Bo, Wallace, Aristide. 60 with Aristide, North Miami, tap in. Tap to tap to tap, tap in. 60 with Aristide, District 2, tap in. Tap to tap to tap, tap in. 60 with Aristide, North Miami, tap in. Tap to tap to tap, tap in. Aristide, a winner, District 2 commissioner. Natural born leader, #1, nobody similar. North Miami bound, tap in, I'm saying listen up. Aristide the best, 30 years and never giving up. Dade County bound, we yelling Aristide. Dedication, motivation, make the city healthy. Vote Aristide, he the GOAT, legendary. August 22, Aristide, no comparing. District 2, 22, you better tap in. Aristide coming through with a different plan. Love the kids, love the people, talking Superman. Aristide going up, talking champion. North Miami, Opa-locka, better tap in. Little River, Ponciana, better tap in. Westview, Pinewood, I said tap in. Hialeah, Longmont, gotta tap in. 60 with Aristide, North Miami, tap in. Tap to tap to tap, tap in. 60 with Aristide, District 2, tap in. Tap to tap to tap, tap in. 60 with Aristide, North Miami, tap in. Tap to tap to tap, tap in. Bo, Wallace, Aristide. Bo, Wallace, Aristide.